What if I told you there are motorhomes out there bigger than most apartments, built to cross deserts, climb mountains, and survive the harshest places on Earth? Sounds impossible, right? But these machines are real, and most people have no idea they exist. We're talking expedition rigs so massive and loaded with luxury, they make five-star hotels look basic. Some cost more than mansions, others carry vehicles inside. And the wildest part? The last one on this list doesn't even look like it belongs on a road. Ready to see the 10 biggest expedition motorhomes ever built? Stick with me. Earthroamer XVHD. When most people think of a motorhome, they picture something parked at a lakeside campground. The Earthroamer XVHD is not that. Built on a Ford F750 commercial chassis, and this is a full-blown expedition machine designed to take luxury living completely off the grid and into the most remote terrain on Earth. On the outside, it's aggressive and purposeful. Flat matte paint, massive all-terrain tires, and a stance that says this thing was built to go where roads simply don't exist. At nearly 35 feet long, it dominates any trail it rolls onto. Step inside and the picture changes completely. Solid hardwood cabinetry, granite countertops, a full kitchen with induction cooktop, convection microwave, and residential-size refrigerator. There's a king-size bed, a dry bath with a full shower, heated floors, and a Bose surround sound entertainment system. You'd swear you were inside a high-end mountain cabin, not a truck. Under the hood sits a 6.7-litre Powerstroke Vive 8 turbo diesel, producing around 330 horsepower and 750 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a heavy-duty automatic transmission and full-time four-wheel drive, this rig handles mud, sand, snow, and mountain passes without breaking a sweat. And with a massive solar array, lithium battery bank, and onboard water filtration, it stays self-sufficient for weeks at a time. A fully loaded XVHD typically costs between $1.5 million and $1.7 million. And here's the kicker. The waiting list stretches over 2 years. That's how badly people want this machine. But if you think that's impressive, the next motorhome takes expedition luxury into a whole different league. Unicat Amerigo International. If German engineering had a final boss in the expedition world, this might be it. Built by Unicat Expedition Vehicles in Crusen, Germany, the Amerigo International was designed from the ground up for extreme global travel. Based on a MAN TGS chassis with full all-wheel drive, this rig stretches up to 32 feet and sits on a reinforced platform built to handle everything from Saharan dunes to frozen Siberian highways. The exterior is clean and functional, no unnecessary flash, just heavy-duty bumpers, auxiliary fuel tanks, rooftop storage, and a reinforced frame built for river crossings and boulder-strewn trails. Pure expedition DNA. Inside, it's a different world entirely. Custom hardwood interiors, full climate control, a galley kitchen with cooktop, oven, and refrigerator, a convertible dinette, private bathroom with separate shower, and enough storage for months of continuous travel. Power comes from a MAN D0836 inline 6-cylinder turbo diesel, 6.9 litres. Delivering around 340 horsepower and over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. The ZF automatic transmission pairs with permanent all-wheel drive and differential locks on both axles. This machine was built to cross continents, not campgrounds. Price sits around $1 million depending on options and finish level. And here's what makes it legendary. Several of these rigs have completed full circumnavigation trips around the globe. Real border-to-border, continent-to-continent journeys. That's not marketing talk, that's a proven track record. But the next one goes even bigger and even bolder. Action Mobile. Global XRS 7200. When your motorhome rides on a MAN TGS 26.540 6x6 military-grade chassis, you know things are getting serious. The Action Mobile Global XRS 7200 is an Austrian-built expedition giant stretching over 39 feet long. And with six-wheel drive and the kind of ground clearance that laughs at obstacles. It was designed for one purpose: go anywhere on Earth and live in absolute comfort while doing it. The exterior is built like a fortress. Reinforced aluminum body panels, integrated fuel and water tanks, a rooftop solar array, and a road presence that makes everything else around it look small. Step inside and the luxury matches the toughness. An L-shaped living room sofa, full kitchen with oven, cooktop, microwave and full-size fridge, a rear master bedroom, full bathroom with enclosed shower, and enough onboard power to run everything independently for days. Under the chassis sits a MAN D 2676 inline six-cylinder, 12.4 litres, producing around 540 horsepower and over 1,900 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a ZF automated transmission and all-wheel drive with 3 differential locks, this beast has crossed the Sahara, navigated South American jungles, and handled frozen Scandinavian roads. The price typically falls between $1.2 million and $1.5 million, depending on configuration. Fun fact: one of these rigs reportedly completed a 50,000-mile journey across 5 continents without a single major mechanical failure. That's the kind of reliability we're talking about. But hold on tight, because the next expedition motorhome isn't just big. It's a rolling laboratory of innovation built by one of the most brilliant minds in technology. Caravan. Created by Bran Ferren, former president of research and development at Walt Disney Imagineering, this expedition vehicle was designed with a single obsession: no road, no climate, and no terrain on Earth should ever stop you. Based on a MAN TG a 6x6 military chassis, the Caravan stretches beyond 40 feet in total length and tips the scales at a staggering 44,000 pounds. The exterior alone looks like something pulled from a science fiction movie. Inside, the Caravan is packed with technology that borders on the absurd. Infrared night vision, satellite communication systems, a full onboard command center with real-time navigation and terrain mapping, a gourmet kitchen, climate-controlled living quarters, a private bathroom, and even a deployable motorcycle that launches from a custom rear bay for scouting ahead. The sleeping quarters feature a full bed with memory foam, ambient lighting, and military-grade insulation. Every system is redundant, every surface is custom fabricated, and every inch of this rig was engineered by a team of over 20 specialists. Powering it is a MAN D 2066 inline six-cylinder turbo diesel, 10.5 litres, producing around 440 horsepower and approximately 1,550 pound-feet of torque. It rolls on 6 driven wheels with portal axles that raise the entire chassis above obstacles, giving it a ground clearance rivaling dedicated military transports. The estimated cost of the Caravan build exceeds $2 million, and it took several years to complete. And here's the wildest part. This truck was originally built so Ferren could take his daughter on safe adventures anywhere in the world. A father's love turned into one of the most extreme expedition vehicles ever conceived. If that doesn't redefine dedication, nothing does. But we're just getting started. And the next rig takes the concept of modular expedition living and scales it up on a military chassis. Bliss Mobile on MAN 8x8. Some expedition motorhomes are built for comfort, others are built for absolute go-anywhere capability. The Bliss Mobile system mounted on a MAN 8x8 military chassis delivers both. Developed in the Netherlands, Bliss Mobile specializes in modular expedition units that can be mounted on various heavy-duty trucks, but the 8x8 configuration is the flagship. Built on a military surplus MAN HX or SX chassis with 8-wheel drive, this rig was literally designed for battlefield logistics, which means no civilian terrain on Earth can challenge it. The total length exceeds 36 feet, and the expedition module itself offers a fully insulated living space with a complete kitchen featuring cooktop, oven, microwave, and full refrigerator. There's a convertible dinette, a fixed rear bedroom, a full bathroom with separate shower, independent heating and air conditioning, and enough solar and battery capacity to stay completely off-grid for weeks. The power plant is a MAN D 2876 inline six-cylinder, 12.8 litres, delivering around 480 horsepower and over 1,700 pound-feet of torque. Combined with 8 driven wheels, central tyre inflation, and differential locks on all axles, this thing climbs grades and crosses terrain that would stop most vehicles dead. Prices for a fully equipped Bliss Mobile 8x8 build typically run between $800,000 and $1.4 million, depending on the base truck and interior specifications. Here's something wild. The modular design means the entire living unit can be detached and swapped to a different chassis if needed. And that kind of flexibility is unmatched in the expedition world. But the next motorhome makes this one look modest. SLRV Commander 8x8. This is where expedition motorhomes stop being impressive and start becoming genuinely unbelievable. Built in Australia by SLRV Expedition Vehicles, the Commander 8x8 is one of the largest and most capable overland rigs ever constructed. Based on a military-grade 8x8 chassis, this rolling fortress stretches beyond 40 feet and weighs in at over 50,000 pounds, fully loaded. The exterior screams serious capability: heavy-duty steel construction, massive off-road tires, integrated water and fuel storage exceeding 200 gallons combined, and a rooftop deck with observation railing. It looks like a command vehicle from a military operation because the platform it's built on was originally designed for exactly that. Inside the Commander is pure luxury. A spacious, open-plan living area with retractable sofa, a full kitchen with cooktop, convection oven, large fridge, and stainless sink. There's a master bedroom suite with a queen bed, a full bathroom with enclosed shower, washer, and dryer, and a dedicated office space with satellite internet. LED lighting, premium finishes, and climate control throughout. Powering this beast is a Caterpillar C13 inline 6-cylinder, 12.5 litres, producing around 520 horsepower and nearly 1,700 pound-feet of torque. The 8-wheel drive system includes selectable differential locks, central tyre inflation, and air suspension for highway comfort and off-road clearance. Pricing for a Commander 8x8 starts around $2 million and can climb significantly with upgrades. And here's the part that blows people's minds. Some owners have driven these across the Australian outback, through Southeast Asian jungles, and even across African deserts, living in them full-time for years at a stretch. But wait until you see what the next entry hides inside its body. It carries a secret that changes the entire game. Volkner Mobile Performance S. Most expedition motorhomes prioritize off-road capability over everything else. This one decided it wanted both extreme luxury and a built-in car garage. The Volkner Mobile Performance S is a German-engineered masterpiece built on a Volvo chassis, stretching over 40 feet long and tipping the scales at over 26 tons. But the real showstopper is the integrated slide-out garage underneath the living quarters that holds a full-size sports car, a Mercedes SLK, a Porsche Boxster, or whatever the owner chooses to bring along for the ride. On the outside, the Performance S looks sleek, aerodynamic, and nothing like a typical expedition rig. Polished paint, chrome accents, and smooth body lines give it the presence of a luxury touring coach rather than a rugged overlander. But underneath that refined exterior sits serious engineering. Inside, the living space rivals a penthouse apartment. Italian leather furniture, underfloor heating, a full gourmet kitchen with induction cooktop, dishwasher, wine cooler, and residential appliances. There's a master suite with a king bed, a full bathroom with rain shower, a separate office, and a panoramic windshield lounge that turns the front of the vehicle into a living room with a view. Power comes from a Volvo D13 inline 6-cylinder, 12.8 litres, to producing around 500 horsepower and over 1,800 pound-feet of torque. The automatic transmission is tuned for long-distance highway cruising with air suspension, ensuring a smooth ride no matter what's underneath. The price for a fully loaded Volkner Mobile Performance S starts around $2.2 million and can reach beyond $2.5 million with custom options. Fun fact: the garage system uses a hydraulic platform that deploys in under 60 seconds. One tap and your sports car slides out the side, ready to drive. At many luxury motorhome shows across Europe, crowds gather around this rig more than any other, and honestly, it's not hard to see why. But the next motorhome was built for a very different purpose. This one was designed to conquer the most hostile environments on the planet. Atacama by Krug Expedition Vehicles. Named after one of the driest deserts on Earth, the Atacama was built to thrive where nothing else survives. Constructed by Krug Expedition Vehicles in Germany, this rig is based on a Mercedes-Benz Zetros 6x6 military chassis, one of the most capable all-terrain platforms ever manufactured. Stretching over 38 feet long, the Atacama weighs in at around 48,000 pounds and was purpose-built for extreme climate expeditions, from sub-zero Arctic crossings to scorching desert routes across Africa and the Middle East. The exterior is raw and purposeful. Flat military-style panels, integrated recovery equipment, auxiliary fuel and water tanks, and rooftop solar panels. This isn't a motorhome trying to look tough. It was built for survival. Inside, the contrast is stunning. A fully insulated and climate-controlled living space with hardwood floors, leather seating, a full kitchen with cooktop, oven and refrigerator, a private bathroom with enclosed shower, a fixed double bed, and enough onboard reserves to sustain 2 people off-grid for over a month. Under the hood sits a Mercedes-Benz OM460 inline 6-cylinder turbo diesel, 11.9 litres, delivering around 510 horsepower and over 1,700 pound-feet of torque. The 6-wheel drive system includes portal axles, 3 differential locks, and central tyre inflation. It crosses rivers, climbs sand dunes, and handles rocky mountain passes without flinching. The price for an Atacama build starts around $2.5 million and can reach $3 million depending on configuration. And here's the kicker. One of these rigs was taken across the entire length of the African continent, from Morocco to South Africa, and the owners reported never once needing outside mechanical support. That is confidence built into every bolt. But the next motorhome doesn't just push boundaries, it obliterates them with a design so futuristic it barely looks real. Marchi Mobile Element Palazzo Superior. We've saved the most outrageous for last, and this one earns every bit of that title. The Marchi Mobile Element Palazzo Superior is an Austrian-engineered masterpiece that looks more like a concept vehicle from the year 2050 than anything that belongs on today's roads. Built on a reinforced Volvo chassis, this motorhome stretches beyond 45 feet, and its teardrop-shaped body is sculpted entirely from carbon fiber and fiberglass composites, making it lighter than its size suggests while looking absolutely unlike anything else on the road. And the exterior is a conversation starter before the engine even turns on. Flowing aerodynamic curves, a panoramic wraparound cockpit windshield, and a sleek futuristic profile that stops traffic and crowds wherever it appears. Inside, it's not just luxury, it's extravagance. A sky lounge on the upper level with a retractable glass roof and panoramic views. A master suite with king bed, walk-in wardrobe, and rainfall shower. A full gourmet kitchen with premium appliances and marble finishes, underfloor heating throughout, a dedicated entertainment system, independent climate zones, and a pop-out room extension that expands the interior living space at the push of a button. Power comes from a Volvo D13 inline 6-cylinder, 12.8 litres, producing around 500 horsepower and over 1,800 pound-feet of torque. The automatic transmission and air suspension deliver a ride that feels more like a limousine than a 26-ton motorhome. The cost for a Palazzo Superior starts around $3 million and can soar past $3.5 million with full options. And here's the part that stays with you. Most people who see one parked at an expo don't even realize it's a motorhome until someone opens the door. It looks that unreal. Some owners use it as a mobile executive office. Others live in it full-time crossing continents. Either way, this machine doesn't just redefine expedition motorhomes. It makes you question everything you thought was possible on wheels. Today we explored 10 machines that most people never knew existed. These aren't just motorhomes, they're rolling mansions, mobile fortresses, and engineering marvels that combine raw expedition capability with the kind of luxury most homes can't even match. From solar-powered off-grid cabins on a Ford chassis to futuristic palaces that look like they belong in a movie, every single one of these rigs represents something bigger than transportation: freedom, independence, a life without walls, without limits, and without compromise. So tell me, if money was no object, which one would you choose? Could you live full-time on the road, crossing deserts and mountains with everything you need right behind the driver's seat? Or would you just take it on the ultimate road trip of a lifetime? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear which one blew you away. And if you enjoyed this journey, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. It helps this channel grow. It tells the algorithm this content matters and makes sure more people get to discover these incredible machines. New videos drop every week covering the most extreme builds, wildest expeditions, and the vehicles that push the limits of what's possible. See you in the next one.